Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. This time's of the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Grease Blizzard from one of the final battles that Grease faced in the series. It wasn't used for very long, but it is a very popular person and a very popular suit design. So let's get started. This is a Tamashii web shop, and I just want to say that this is one of the things that they definitely just gave because it was hardcore fans, and it was an easy repaint. But I can't deny how cool this design looks. It's one of the coolest designs in the show that came a little too late, but I wish we had gotten more of it, and we didn't, but this was dope. This was absolutely dope. And let's talk about it right now. So if you've had Grease, or you know what Grease is, or the character, you know that this design is pretty much him with a build driver and an icy design using the Glacier Knuckle. I'm going to take out the Glacier Knuckle. It is used inside the belt of the build driver, just like the Magma Knuckle. And it's one of those things that it gives you the ultimate form, but again, characters just can't handle certain things. The look on this is absolutely astounding. The blue is just really great. Pops under light, pops under different shadings of light as well. And it's just one of those things that just translated really well into a toy. So let's jump into the articulation, right? The head can look up, it can look down. It's a little inside of it, so that way you can tip it in a little bit. I had mine's actually modified because I used a SHF upgrade ball joint, and I want to talk about that and be honest with you guys and not make it as so if it's one of those things that it's automatically perfect. No, it is not. It's one of those things where SHF, the neck joint sits a little too low for my liking, and SHF upgrade does ball joints. I'll put a link in the description for that. And it extends it a little bit just to make it look more natural like the suit design for more of the basic SHF stuff. So shout out to you and thank you SHF upgrade. I appreciate you guys. Now, as far as the look though, the kingdom here, the three-piece kingdom, is a great design that I absolutely love here. It's just something that they did for his three peoples, so it has like a little military feel to it, and that's really, really dope. And over here you have the Grease Blizzard design, and that's one of those things I just really like that they added on that I didn't even see in the show, but seeing it on the toy made me appreciate it just a lot more. Now, these actually can turn as well, just like Grease's, so that design stays the same. The shoulders are on the arms and not actually on the upper torso. So when you rotate the arms all the way around, there's zero issue. There's bicep swivel. The arms are double jointed, so they rotate all the way up. The hand is on a standard SHF ball joint, which rotates all the way around. You have really good upper articulation, which can rotate down and to the left and to the right. The belt moves a little bit with it, but that gives you extra little wiggle room. Let me remove this, the Glacier Knuckle. This flap actually comes up a little to give you an extra forward ab crunch. So when you have the belt in here, it's going to get in the way. So it's definitely going to get in the way of your ab crunch. But if you fold it a little far forward, you get a little bit of extra forward crunch. And I'm just going to leave the knuckle off for a while as I go over articulation. The belt can wiggle as well as you can crank it still when rotating it for the finishing maneuver. The Glacier Hand part is what I enjoy the most because this gimmick is actually pretty cool. You can actually individually move these. So that's really nice. The only one you can't move is this bottom knuckle, but the top two move very well. They don't have a three-point articulation. They just up and down, real easy. But it's nice to have, and it looks really good when using it because it's such a unique thing. So it's something that I really, really like. As far as the legs, you get the standard drop-down method with the 2.0 thigh swivel. Comes all the way up. Double jointed legs as well. And you get ankle pivot. But on the build stuff, the ankle pivot is not as generous as I would like it to be. But articulation-wise, he is still one of those figures that's up there in terms of the look and articulation. So let's get you in a stance that shows off your prowess and battle power. And as you can see here, look, still can get into a really nice stance. The Glacier Knuckle itself is actually pretty decent. One of those things where you fold it down and you can still do it like the Magma Knuckle, where you retab it to work inside of his fist. And then you have the Glacier bottle, which is very, very tiny. And I almost wasn't able to grab it the first time. And you can pop that back in so we don't lose that. And now we have the Glacier Knuckle in battle mode when it's not used inside the driver. Real quick though, I'm actually gonna come back and edit this part out because I actually forgot something, so I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the fact that I know everyone was wondering whether or not you can actually swap this out. And I forgot to talk about that because I forgot to grab the hand. But we can pop this off very gently. It still has a normal peg joint under there. And if you have grease or cross charge, which I'm going to use right here, you can just pop this off. You can actually pop this hand on. And then voila, if you wanted to, you can have a normal grease blizzard without the crank can, or use it as a rocket punch. But the hand does match on the peg. So if you want, you can easily talk about that. And that's one of the things I just wanted to cover very quickly. So if you don't want to use the claw hand, it is very much possible to do that, or use one of the build hands, but the build hands won't match this part of the design. You need to use grease or cross charge for that. Now I'm going to leave this on. We're going to pop this back off before anybody comes in late or skips around and wondering why it doesn't come with that. So we're going to pop you back on. And one of the things that does bug me about grease blizzard, that it doesn't come with much. So for a web shop, you have to be a dedicated fan firm, right? It's not one of those things where you can be a casual fan and go, I kind of got ripped off because it's a web shop. So if you are not a dedicated build or grease fan, this may not be for you. But the articulation is all there. The look is there. It's all really nice. But again, you don't want to pay for something you don't really like, right? So don't try to lie to yourself or reconvince yourself. One of the things you also get with Grease Blizzard is the holding weapon hand for the Blizzard Knuckle. So as you can see, or Glacier Knuckle, depending on what you want to call it. It holds it just fine. Doesn't wiggle out. You can use it as a tool, even with this one. And then you also get one open palm. It has a little blue circle inside, just like Grease has a yellow circle inside for his. So when you swap and you're going to use these hands, if you're going to use them permanently, you might want to repaint it. And honestly, that's all Grease Blizzard really comes with. But again, I said it, if you are a fan of Grease, this is definitely for you. If you are not, this is an easy pass. But I absolutely love this design, and I love the build series. Definitely in my top 5, so I definitely wanted to have this piece. Here he is, though, and I'm going to show him up next to Grease himself, this original form, so we can all see what's going on, and show you what was modified from a build suit to a Grease suit. And as you can see here, his neck sits a little lower, so it shows him to be a tad bit taller here. And that's one of the things I want to show you, because I'm actually going to add modified neck joint in him as well. But this design looks absolutely wonderful in blue, as much as it did in yellow. So it's just one of those things I'm a fan of. Next up, we're going to jump into size comparisons with other SHF and other lines in general. So let's get into that. Let's show him next to other build characters. So here he is next to Black Hazard. Here he is next to Rogue. And these two have also been modified with the upgrade neck joints. So they all look about the same height, which is really nice. Next up, we're going to go with Mad Rogue, who has not been modified in the neck. So his neck sits a little lower. Ooh. And then Cross Magma, who has not been modified, but his neck joint actually sits a little high. So this is actually pretty nice. He fits in really well with the other SHF, regardless of mods or not. Here he is next to a renewal Kamen Rider. This one is Decayed. Next up is Synthetic Human. Who I have used and used so long that I may have to use a new one because I've worn him out. Next up, an Articulated Icons Ninja. Let's make sure he can stand properly so you guys can see the comparison. There we go. Oh, one of the things I do want to talk about is this comparison next to the Hasbro stuff, because these guys actually work pretty decently well together. Not too big and not too small. They actually fit in well together. Next up, Marvel Legends Spider-Man. I've worn this Spider-Man out too. I should probably get another one. Mezco Blade with an Old Boy custom head. And none of my stuff is standing today. I think it's a little too slacking. Last but not least, a Mythic Legion skeleton, because you'll never know when you have to fight skeleton monsters, right? all in all, with the SHF upgrade joint, this piece makes it even better. So it's one of those things where I like the way the neck sits, and I'm a lot more happier with it. So that makes me even happier with the piece in general overall. Yeah, it took a little modding, but I'm not too worried about that. All in all, it's one of those dope pieces where if you are a fan of Kamen Rider, I highly suggest you get it, especially if you're a Greaser build fan. Otherwise, it's, you know, it's one of those things you can pass on and not have too much to stress about. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the photos at the end. And as always, guys, I hope you do good, be good, drink your water. Later.